Tyler, I want people to understand here, it's sitting on roughly $800 million. I don't have the specific figure, but roughly $800 million endowment. It's raised a ton of money on this whole thing. Stop hate. They named Charlie Kirk. I think War Room was named years ago. Breitbart was named years ago when I ran that. It has included Charlie Kirk. It's one of the reasons Charlie Kirk's life was endangered. And they're trying to do that. They're trying to make it difficult for you to have public gatherings, public events. This is what they do to try to gin up the crazies. This is one of the most evil groups around. In fact, in the indictment, correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like you can see the hand of some disgruntled employees, maybe even flipping and giving the government evidence or giving them inside documentation about what was going on, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like that. What we see in this indictment, and I'm glad to speed up to that issue because this really is the crux of what we're seeing with the SPLC right now. They are accused of setting up fictitious accounts, lying to banks in order to cloak the money that they spent paying their field sources. Now, the SPLC claims these were just informants. The indictment, casts some serious doubt on that claim. But the SPLC essentially was propping up the very same hate they claim to be presenting, they claim to exist to oppose, to dismantle, in their words. And that's what they're accused of doing in this indictment. And I think the indictment is very strong, if for nothing else than the black and white words where you have one employee filing to create these accounts, saying that these are companies that exist on their own, and then you have a few years later, the SPLC, the president of the SPLC, filing another statement to the very same bank saying the SPLC managed these entities and these bank accounts, and we are closing them now. And so what happened last week was very revealing. Last week, we had Democrats come forward and say that there was a whistleblower who said that the Department of Justice rushed the indictment, that they didn't have full faith in the strength of their indictment, and therefore they rushed to the grand jury to get it out, and that this violated the SPLC's rights. That's the suggestion here. And Democrats are going out there with this whistleblower report. Immediately when I saw that, I thought, wow, this looks like a deep state effort, because we have this poll, and it's a very revealing poll from the middle of last year, showing that 75% of the Washington, D.C. based federal bureaucrats who make 150 grand or more and who voted for Kamala Harris in the last election said they would not obey a lawful Trump order if they thought it was bad policy. That is what we mean by the deep state in a nutshell. And I think it is one of those people, most likely, who decided to leak this information to the Democrats. And look, I don't know whether the information is true or not. It seems very convenient for the Democrats. But regardless of whether it's true that the indictment was rushed, the indictment still is extremely strong if they have in black and white the SPLC lying to the bank, which they do. I mean, there's no claim. The SPLC has been defending their program that they say were informants, not just field sources. That has to be fully litigated. But the one thing the SPLC has not denied is those specific statements to the bank in black and white. And if the entire indictment was just those statements, that indictment would be ready to print. So the notion that the DOJ rushed this, that this is a sloppy job, I don't think it passes muster.